Intel's looking to buy more AMD and keep it all on their side? The most insane monitor that's ever going to be announced, and AMD Voyager. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your host, Brett. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news that I can get my hands on. And we're going to be starting off talking about how there's a new Wall Street Journal report coming out talking about how Intel is in talks to buy GlobalFoundries for about $30 billion. And in case you're not aware, GlobalFoundries is a chip fabrication facility. In fact, AMD used to use them a while back until they switched over to TSMC for all of their Ryzen and current Navi parts. But I'll get more into AMD used to use them in a second. This is a huge announcement considering the fact that Intel already has their own fabrication facilities. They know how to make their own chips. They're in talks with other companies to actually have their chips made at Intel's fabrication facilities. So Intel bringing this on means that they're looking to expand that. And this is also in conjunction with the fact that Intel's in talks to potentially purchase Sci-Fi for around $2 billion. So Intel's new CEO is looking to shake things up completely and potentially have it so that they're a major player later on down the line, not just in x86 anymore, but also in RISC-V development, as well as being one of the most popular chip manufacturing plants that's out there. So this is a huge deal in the tech industry. I mean, TSMC is kind of the last bastion of where we get our stuff right now. There is some Samsung play that's been happening. The rumor has it that NVIDIA only went to Samsung because they were kind of mad that AMD was getting priority at TSMC, and that could be one of the reasons why we're experiencing such a shortage on the 30 series. But getting back to GlobalFoundries, Intel has consistently, even when they're developing their Project Z GPUs, they've just been purchasing things that AMD used to have. The lead developer on the XE graphics is Raja Koduri, who came directly from AMD's Vega program. GlobalFoundries, my friends, used to be AMD's fabrication facility. They had it and then they spun it off as its own company. So AMD is being purchased by Intel, and this is just absolutely wild, right? Like, AMD also sold off their mobile chip division to Qualcomm, who calls it Adreno, but now they're getting back into the mobile chip division with Samsung, which we're going to talk about Voyager a little later on. So everything is coming in a weird loop-de circle of branching timelines and variants of different things that are happening. I think if you talk to anybody in 2016 and you told them that Intel was going to buy out GlobalFoundries and AMD was going to work with Samsung, nobody knew which way would be up. But speaking of the future of Intel, Alder Lake, which is the upcoming chip generation that we're expecting, the 12900K is now available for purchase in China. If you have a cool $1,000 per chip, agree to a minimum order quantity of 100 units, and just buy it sight unseen because they don't want to leak the actual chip pictures because they don't want to get in trouble for actually having all of this. So in case you want to do that, you can get a 12900K qualification sample for about $1,000. In case you want to upgrade to Valve Steam Deck and you don't want to spend as much money as you need to get the 512 gig NVMe version, well, I have some good news for you because over the weekend, Gabe Newell confirmed that all versions of the Steam Deck will have a user replaceable M.2 2230 drive slot. So if you bought the $399 version that only has a 64 gig eMMC drive, you could potentially upgrade it later on down the line. However, Valve is noting that they are not intended for end user replacement, which could mean several different things. Number one, that they really just don't want you opening the Steam Deck, but as soon as you pop it open, the drive slot's right there. This could mean number two, it's like buried on the back side of the motherboard. You have to disconnect every single freaking ribbon pin that's on the dang motherboard before you can even access the M.2 drive, which is on the other side, and you have to remove the whole, like, this could be a nightmare for just like regular DIYers and not something that's as easy as popping open like the bottom of your laptop. Fun fact, I had a Dell laptop that if you popped it open, there was no RAM slots in it. You had to take the whole damn thing out and then flip it over because the RAM slots were on the part that was facing the keyboards. Anyways, also, additionally, the M.2 drive that's going to be featured in the Steam Deck is a 2230 drive, not the typical 2280 drives of the mass consumer drives that are out there. It's very easy to get 128 gig version. You could buy a 1 terabyte version of one of these for around $200, but then that puts you in the price territory of potentially just having gone with the higher end version of the Steam Deck in the first place and not having to go through the hassle of replacing it yourself. What do you think of Valve including the 2230 drive on the Steam Deck? I want to hear from you down below in the comments. Are you buying the cheaper version to upgrade? Did anybody actually get their reservation in? I did after 95 minutes of payment processing issues to put down my $5 $1,000 dang deposit, which means that I probably won't get mine until sometime late in 2022, unfortunately. And will it be late in 2022 when Bitcoin finally recovers? I don't know. Let's talk about Cryptostonks. Bitcoin down 1.46% on the last 24 hours to $31,500. Ethereum down 5% to under $1,900, sitting at $1,874. Dogecoin down 7% to be at just under 18 cents. Rough 24 hours for the crypto market. Meme stonks, however, GameStop going up slightly on Friday to 1.33% to close at 169.04. AMC down 3% almost to close at 34.96. It was a really rough week for the market last week, both in crypto as well as the meme stonks, and honestly, just the market overall has not necessarily been in its bullish form. So we'll keep an eye on this and keep you updated on the crypto stonks as things progress. And I'm going to keep you updated on something that we talked about in last week's episode of Hot News, where it was discovered that there was a crypto farm that had 3,800 PS4s that were illegally tapping into the electric grid. And at the time, I kind of gave some hesitancy at the fact that I thought they were mining crypto because, number one, it's just never really been proven that you could do it on a PS4, even if you can install Linux on it. And number two, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, that it's come out that it was not being used for cryptocurrency. They had mining systems, but the PS4 specifically were for mining FIFA currency, not necessarily the crypto variety, because they were using a special AI that got you in-game coins in FIFA, and then they were selling everything on an underground market to get that dirty, dirty money. Soccer money. Ugh, digital soccer money at that. Ugh. So don't worry, consoles not mining cryptocurrency at the moment. Tesla's, however, mining your wallet for $200 a month now that the full vision version of the full self-driving beta V9 has rolled out to the beta testers, all 2,000 of them. Tesla's keeping the word by rolling out the monthly subscription for full self-driving, which, if you don't know, costs $10,000 out of pocket, but now will cost you a cool $200 a month if you don't want to spend that 10 grand, which means you have several years of keeping your vehicle before it makes more financial sense to spend that $10,000. So that is now out there. If you at one point purchased enhanced autopilot, it's only going to set you back $99 a month. But the big kicker in the face is that they're also going to charge you a hardware upgrade for that monthly subscription in case you want to go with that and you don't have something like the 2019 Tesla Model 3 or newer, because those have the hardware Model 3.0 of the full self-driving computer, whereas all of the other full self-driving hardware that Tesla has been saying every single car since 2016 has been sold with, as you can see from this post on their own website. Even though it has the full self-driving hardware, that's not full self-driving enough for them to not charge you an extra $1,500 to upgrade, to then spend $200 a month for beta technology that tries to run you into monorail pillars and is actually not really full self-driving, but more like babysitting a 16-year-old who's kind of really unsure of themselves, doesn't have a whole lot of self-confidence, and you're just basically screaming in their ear their entire time so they can't actually process what's going on. That's what you're paying all of this money for. And it's just great to see that Tesla has communicated since 2016, you have the hardware for it, but now here in 2021, you have the hardware for it, but we don't have the money for you to have the hardware for it. So shut up and pay us. But Tesla is not the only electric car company that's facing some sort of changes in timeline and schedules. Rivian announcing that their R1T and R1S vehicles are being delayed until September. They were originally supposed to be starting to ship this month in July, but because of technical complications and launching a new business, as well as the pandemic and everything that's raging on with that, they're going to have to delay it. I wouldn't call this anywhere near as scammy as what Tesla's doing with their full self-driving stuff, but it sucks to see if people who were expecting in July to receive a vehicle that you update them on the 17th, 18th, over halfway through, just saying, hey, you're not getting a car this month, sucker. You should have thought about that before you thought you were getting one. And I think that I want to get one of these, but I am absolutely not going to be able to afford it. Samsung teasing its upcoming Odyssey Neo G9 super wide gaming monitor being launched on July 29th. This is very similar to the other G9 gaming monitor that we've seen, except for this one will have a mini LED backlight, which can deliver up to 2,000 nits of brightness and 2,048 local dimming zones across the screen, which, if any anything could be criticized on the G9 besides the panel actually physically separating from the dang device and it breaking altogether was that the full array local dimming wasn't really up to snuff. So getting this mini LED 2048 local dimming zones would make this an amazing monitor, super ultra wide 5120 by 1440 resolution at 240 hertz. This is going to be absurd. It's going to cost like $1,500 to $2,000. I want it so bad. Samsung. So I'll just keep it behind my head. All right. I'll just have it wrapped here. All right. Just hook me up, please, Samsung. And AMD is hooking up with Samsung on producing mobile chips because there's the new GPU codenamed Voyager that looks to be coming in the Exynos 2200 system that's going to be rolling out with Samsung sometime soon, which now, according to reports, will have 6 compute units and 384 RDNA 2 stream processors. What this performance is going to look like, we're still waiting to see, but hotly anticipated RDNA 2 being made in everything from the 6900 XT all the way down to these mobile phones. You got the Steam Deck, you got the PS5. There's so much goodness going on with AMD right now and their GPUs. I can't wait to see if they can shake up the mobile phone market. Are you looking forward to AMD's mobile phones? Let me know down below in the comments. And I was looking forward to Zen 4 until I found out it's only going to have 16 cores. But then I'm still looking forward to it. Go check out Friday's episode of Hot News where we talk about the latest Zen 4 Raphael leaks. And I'll see you in tomorrow's episode, my friends. Cheers.